Hello, all Behold Begold followers. My name is Juanita Prada, also known as Behold Begold. Today's guest on Behold Begold series, Childhood Cancer with Late Effects, is Drew Fulton. He is a childhood cancer survivor, and we are going to talk about some of the late effects that Drew has faced after surviving childhood cancer. So welcome, Drew.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How's everything been? It's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, man.
Yeah, it's been interesting with everything that's going on, but
Yes,
still,
definitely.
Well,
Keeping safe, keeping healthy.
yeah.
Good. So Drew, tell us today about a little bit about you. Just tell me first your age. How old are you?
I am currently 19 years old, going to be 20 in late November of this year. So, and I'm currently at Virginia Western Community College studying human services, to planning on to go to Virginia Tech to do human development and possibly become a child life specialist.
Oh, what? Woo! Child life specialist. That's our role here. When did you finish high school?
I finished high school in the spring of 2019. Actually,
Okay.
spring/summer.
Okay, good stuff. And so then you got to Virginia Western Community College, which is awesome. I did that too. So for those who don't know, I know Drew. He went to the same high school as I did. And it's crazy, Drew, because we know so many people from our schools, middle school and high school, that have faced childhood cancer. Isn't that so sad?
Yeah, it is. It's sad knowing that there's been so many people that's been affected in their childhood age ranges into their teenage years. Then
it's so childhood cancer is not rare. We really admire all those undergoing cancer, all those who have passed away, and all those who are still fighting for their lives right now. We remember Kendall Bain and Hannah Bryant and Kim. They all went to our school, and it's, it really is something that we need to raise the level of awareness to every day, not just one day of September, every day. Tell us what age, so you said, what age did you have childhood cancer?
I was 17 years old, just a couple days before my 18th birthday. I was diagnosed with testicular cancer in the fall of 2018. I was playing football. It was late October. The symptoms, I didn't know now, but then when I first initially thought of them, but it started in October of 2018 when I started feeling a little bit more tired and wasn't eating as much as I used to during the off season and during the postseason. I was then the day before Thanksgiving, I noticed that one of my testicles were enlarged to wasn't the normal size that it was enlarged, and that I told my parents, and they were like, "We'll take you to a velocity care tomorrow." Then we tried on Thanksgiving. They were closed. Chalked it up to it being Thanksgiving. Then the day after Thanksgiving, we went to velocity care. They checked me out. They sent me to the ER. Then they ran a couple tests, let me out. They said that they weren't sure it was cancer, but they wanted to run a couple more tests. so they let me out for that weekend. Then the pain wouldn't go away, so that Saturday after Thanksgiving, we went back to the ER. They admitted me to the pediatric floor. They tested me out, and they said for sure that it was testicular cancer. So, and that they did a couple more scans just to make sure where everything, if it reached to any other part of the body, and they saw that it moved to my lungs. My treatment plan was a 3-week process. The first 5 days being inpatient chemo treatment, then the first day of the second and third week would be a outpatient chemo treatment. So then before we started, I obviously got surgery to take the main tumor out, then started the treatment. Once I got admitted into the ER for the second time, and got the surgery done for the main tumor out, they kept me in just to make sure that the surgery went well. Then they were going to release me for a couple days, then bring me back in to start. But due to a complication with the port, they had to keep me in until my chemo start date. So I just went in, did the surgery, then did chemo.
Okay.
So, and one of the bad things about it is that I started chemo on my birthday.
Oh, Drew. Dang, so 2 holidays literally crushed, your day.
The wave that I had all started on that last day of chemo, just to catch you up. On February 5th, I finished chemo, then went off to a little recovery period just to make sure everything was fine. Then every 2 months I had blood work done, and every 4 months I had a CT scan done, just as a checkup, just to see if anything popped up. Then during one of those CAT scans, they noticed that one of my lymph nodes had grown with some cancer on it. So they had to do this surgery called a RPLND. Please don't ask me to say the actual word, because it is a
research it.
Yeah. Research it and you'll know. It's a big surgery, not for the lighthearted, and it's just a really hard surgery. I did that in almost a year after I found out I had cancer on November 25th of 2019, and that I spent about a week or so in the hospital just to recover after that surgery. Right off the bat, the main way effect that I will have throughout my life is my lungs being weakened with all the cancer and chemo that I have. With the chemo and cancer, with the cancer spreading to my lungs, and the chemo helping out get rid of it. My lungs took a pretty big hit, and they've recovered, but they aren't at what they used to be. After I finished all my chemo treatment, they're like, do what you can, don't push yourself.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's up to you. And I did play sports after. I missed my indoor track season because by the time I got out and got fully covered, the season was pretty much over, which it was okay. I actually trained a little bit more for the outdoor track season.
Yeah.
To help me out with that.
Yeah.
And I had a little bit of complications after. With that, it sort of impacted me in school, sports, and socially. Sports-wise, I was doing track right after my treatment was finished. My lungs I wasn't used to having the ones that I did after chemo and all that stuff compared to before. So I had to sort of get back into a breathing pattern that I knew and was comfortable with before my treatment. Socially, I did get a little, people did know what happened, and that they did sort of high-five me and sort of congratulated me on the first couple days that I was back and saying, congrats, Drew, you beat cancer and stuff like that. Then once I got into the back into things, nothing really in my mind changed. Then after my senior year, after I graduated, I went to Virginia Western. I took some general classes, and near the end of it, I did typical checkups every 2 months with blood work and stuff, and CT scans every 4 months. Near November of 2019, near the end of my first semester of college, they realized that some of my lymph nodes near my kidneys were larger than normal because they grew with some cancer cells. So I had to have a surgery for that, and that was one of the late effects that they were unsure. The surgery itself was not common, but it wasn't rare at that time, so it was sort of like a guessing game on if it could come. And it did come. After spending a week in the hospital, I recovered okay. The recovery time was a bit longer than I expected. It took a really good toll on me, both physically and mentally, because physically the recovery was longer than I expected. Then mentally, it was sort of, I had to go to Indianapolis for it, so I wasn't in the same sort of mind space in terms of I didn't have friends there to come and visit me and say, Drew, you look great, you'll be fine, you got this. At that time, the only people that really were there. I were my grandparents, my mom and dad, and my sister.
Your fam bam.
Yeah. Then after that surgery, it took a little while to get me back up on my feet and recover once I got back home. And I obviously had to catch up on school because I missed out a little. Catched up on college after that. So once everything sort of cleared up in the spring of this year, then that sort of leads us to where we are now.
What do you think we could do to help others?
For the person itself, I think that you should sort of be a friend to them, text them once in a while during their treatment, saying, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing? How's chemo? Can I get you anything, like some food or stuff like that?" On the other aspect of like what funding and stuff like that is, I suggest possibly doing a fundraiser research and being a friend to someone that is going through that process and after that process to see if they're still doing okay, if they need anything, if they just want to talk, just talk. If they want to go out and eat like some food together, go out and get some food.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
yeah. So
Always down for food.
Yep.
Definitely, and a friend for sure. Like, I love your answers, Drew, because that is so true. You know, we know that we are aware that the childhood cancer community and population does not get a lot of funding. Very, very small amount of funding, which is very sad, of course. And us as childhood cancer survivors and people who know about this world, we know that we can be doing more, right? So even if it's not contributing to, pitching a little into money, it's okay. Like, you don't have to. Just even raising awareness about it, just going on and telling your friend, like we're doing, like, hey, Drew, do you want to do this awesome podcast with me? Zoom call / audio, video. And you'll be like, yeah, let's do it, Juanita, let's raise awareness. So definitely, this is raising awareness, and literally we can use Zoom for free. So, hey, even if you don't have childhood cancer, you can still send a text, you can still be a friend, you can still reach out to organizations, foundations, really anything. And even just post a picture or a sign or something that says, I am aware that childhood cancer happens and that, we need to be supportive of the families who have lost a child, of the families who, have their child currently undergoing cancer, and of the families who are currently dealing with childhood cancer survivors that have late effects. You, me, our families, they're aware that we have these health problems, issues, that we undergo every day, and they realize the difficulty that it takes for us to kind of like keep going through the world and try to keep, I guess, just conquering the world, like I always like to emphasize. True. So BeholdBeGold is about the resiliency that comes with survivorship and literally just facing childhood cancer overall. We as survivors know that childhood cancer is a big roller coaster, and after childhood cancer, it could even get, unfortunately, it could even get worse, or we struggle, but we always maintain positive because we survived childhood cancer. And we know that after that, hey, you are a superhero. You are amazing. You conquer the world. You go out there and you tell people, hey, I'm a childhood cancer survivor and I can deal with anything. So really, it's about positivity, even though you have these late effects. What positive things came into your life because of this experience?
Uh, for after this experience, some positive stuff is that I got to meet some people that I wouldn't have really met before, like you and a couple other friends that I met, and that I wouldn't really have gotten to know if I did have if I did go through my treatment. Then I got to go to a couple of events, like the Sunshine Kids event that I'm wearing one of the shirts right now. That I, yeah, that
Tell
I
me
went.
a little bit about the Sunshine Kids. What is it?
The organization itself is where they take a group of kids and one nurse as their chaperone to certain places like New Orleans and a couple other big cities. For us, for the group that I went in, we went to San Marcos, Texas, and got to do a couple amazing things, like go to SeaWorld in San Antonio, Texas. Just make friends that sort of know what all the kids have been through at that time, which I think about midway through the whole trip, we're just like normal people. We know that we all face the same thing, so we can bond together knowing that we all went through pretty much the same experience and have fun. Yeah, the Sunshine Kids organization did amazing with the what we did that week. It was such a jam-packed week. So, and after it, the group that I went with stayed in contact, and because of that time together, that we are such good friends now, that we became friends and aren't just one of those groups of people that go on a trip and just lose contact after that. We just become really good friends after that. Then I just barely got into this, but I get to do a Make-A-Wish that with circumstances I still haven't fulfilled it yet, which I'm very excited for what I get to do. I haven't really decided on what I'm going to do yet. So, and I'm just happy I get to
audience I'm sorry to interrupt you. So for the
It's
audience
okay.
that doesn't know what Make-A-Wish is, what is Make-A-Wish?
Make-A-Wish is another organization where they grant a child with a underlying medical condition to do a trip or a experience the child gets to do. Just going somewhere like around the world or around the country that they always wanted to go to, or just have an experience that they always really wanted to have. I initially asked for a trip to see a Dallas Cowboy home game. For the people who don't know, the Dallas Cowboys are one of the National Football League's teams, and I've always been a huge Dallas Cowboy game. But due to some complications with the world right now, we're sort of rethinking everything and just figuring out what to do and what we're going to go with.
Yeah, and how safely do it.
Yes, and how to safely do it.
Good. So, wow, those are positives for sure. I know I got to do a Make-A-Wish trip, and I know that I got to do a Sunshine Kids trip too. So I know exactly what you mean about being an unforgettable experience, because you make awesome relationships and positive experiences. And yeah, and Behold Be Gold definitely, you know, it shows the positive side to it, because we always have to remember that yes, there is many negatives to childhood cancer, but we always want to maintain hope and know that because of this experience of childhood cancer, we are not left behind, right? We might have not attended certain events through our schools, through high school, through college. However, we did get to do other stuff that others didn't, right? So definitely positive. And yeah, Drew, is there anything else you want to say?
Behold, be gold.
What do we say, Drew?
I might ruin the shoot with this. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Hiya. Okay.
Okay.
To you, maybe through your experience experience with childhood cancer, or after your experience of childhood cancer, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Part of me is like shaking like this, and it's like, this is so stressful. I'm like, oh.
I shook my head like that. I didn't like that. Okay. Once again. Okay, there's definitely gonna be bloopers on this. Okay, let me start again. Drew, so, oh shit, sorry.
Okay.